Hey, Soko, allow me on the camera, man. You love catching me on the camera. Give me a laugh. Give me the laugh. Are you ready? All right.
And shame on the pair of you, honestly. Sorry, I had to say.
Soy Boy here is here to talk about weak man's Christianity. You go and preach it, brother. Preach it somewhere else.
Christianity is best when it preaches love.
Yeah.
It's that wrestling though, yeah? We can wrestle. It's that Anthony Joshua, we can
Right. So, listen carefully. Hamza said that the Quran does not make the claim that Muhammad is spoken about in the Old and the New Testament.
So I said, no.
Hamza,
No, if you're going to start misquoting
my question,
me. No, not your question right
to you,
now.
Hamza.
Not answering your question right now.
Question to
You
Hamza.
said, I said to you, I don't want to hear this
question
from
to Hamza.
I said or not?
Question to Hamza is a simple one. I want Hamza to show me where in the Quran it says Muhammad is prophesied in the Old Testament or the New Testament. Show me where it says
When did I make that claim?
I'm asking you.
When did I make that claim?
I am asking you.
You are the heckler. You are the heckler. What he did before? What he did before? Why we need to answer all the time to your question?
I'm so sorry. If you wanted to hear Hamza speak, it would appear the man behind the camera wants to debate instead.
Is that what you have done before? Is that what you have done before?
So,
great.
Hamza, let me just repeat the question. The question that I've asked Hamza is, where in the Quran does it say Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and New Testaments, please?
Right. First of all, I'm not here to answer your question.
Oh, he doesn't want to answer my question.
No.
Already he's running.
Right.
He gets paid for this, by the way. I would ask for a refund if you're one of his sponsors.
Ad hominem. This is typical Bob behaviour. He does not
Is this a
engage.
tag
He
team?
doesn't get control.
Is this a tag team? You got to tag in and out, bro.
Did you stop?
I didn't see no tagging. I didn't see no tagging. I did not see no tagging.
Did you stop soccer heckling?
Right.
Did you
Guys,
stop
would you
soccer
like to hear an answer to my question? Here's what my question is.
Typical Bob behaviour.
The Muslims claim that Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and New Testament.
No, they don't.
I am asking where in the Quran it says Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and New Testament.
Where did I make that claim?
I didn't ask you when you made that claim.
First thing,
I asked you, can you show me?
All right. First thing, your classic fallacy of the straw man, yeah? I never made that claim.
I never said you did.
So why are you asking me to answer a
I
question?
asked you a question. I never said you made a claim. I simply asked you
No,
a
you
question.
said Muslims say this, that, the other.
Muslims
That's
say
what you
yes,
said.
they do.
Did I say that?
The Dawah team are here every week arguing that the Bible prophesizes Muhammad in Old and New Testament. Yes, they do. So my statement is factual. I am asking Hamza, where is that belief? Where is that teaching in the Quran? This is the third time I've asked him. Answer the question.
And I'm going to repeat again. I don't come every week, so I've not made this claim every week. The last time I was here was 2 months ago. So please, don't ask me to answer something that I've not made a claim about.
Okay.
Do you understand what logical fallacies are?
Do you remember that Hamza said, I don't want to do 5 minutes, 5 minutes, because if we do 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you'll ignore everything I said. I've asked him the same question 3 times, and 3 times Hamza, the paid Dawah missionary, ignored the question. I'll ask him a 4th time. Hamza, where in the Quran does it say Muhammad is prophesied in the Old or New Testament?
Right, I'm going to say it one more time, right? And if you repeat
running.
it again. It's not running, is it? How's it running? Do you know what a straw man argument is?
I know that
Do you know what
are
is
running.
it? What is a straw man?
I know what you're running.
What's a straw man?
When you answer my question,
What's a
I'll
straw
answer
man?
yours.
Straw man argument is asking someone to answer a claim they never made.
Deflection.
Is he logical, mate?
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're a madman.
I have never
You're a
said.
madman. Jason, I think you'll make more sense than this,
that
Joker.
Hamza, as an
You'll make more
individual,
sense.
has made this claim.
Why does he make this claim?
I said Muslims made the claim. Hamza wasn't listening.
Listen.
Do you wax your ears? Pay attention to the question and the comments, Hamza, and deal with the question. Stop running from the question. And if you want to be in, tag in, stop interrupting. So, Hamza,
biological fallacies.
for the 5th time, where in the Quran does it say Mohammed is spoken of in the Old or New Testament?
It doesn't.
Thank you.
That's
So,
it.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So, it doesn't. Which surah is it that talks about Ahmed being spoken about in the Old and New Testament?
Listen. First of all,
He says he doesn't know.
This is the topic that he wants us to talk about.
I know.
That's why he raised the question. He's not interested in actually having an agreement on the topic to have a discussion.
You've already made black
Typical
arguments
Bob.
last week about
They're
mercy and
running.
merciful and transactions.
They're running.
You can't even handle that.
They're
All
running.
you do, Bob, is hit
They're
and
running.
run with nonsense.
Okay.
If you're interested in a discussion,
Make your point and
have a
support
discussion.
it.
So,
You're going to make your point.
yeah, we're going to find the
What's your
Quranic
point?
verse.
What's
We're
your
going to find the
point?
Quranic
What's your
verse.
point?
We're going to find
What's
the
your
Quranic
point?
verse. We're going to find the Quranic
What's your
verse.
point you're making?
Can we find the Quranic verse?
What's your
that's-
point?
Do you mind?
What's your point?
Do you mind?
What's the point you're making?
Do you notice he's...
Do you notice, Bob?
you
Can't
notice?
understand why he's asking
He
a question.
doesn't want to
It's just a
answer the
random
question,
There's no
and he
logic
is
to
just
Bob.
making
Bob just
lots
la.
of noise.
That's all Bob is.
The question that
Logical
I asked
fallacies,
Hamza
random
was
questions
where
with
in
no
the
aim in
Quran
sight.
does it
No
say
point to what you're saying
Muhammad
there.
is
No
prophesied
point to what you're
in
saying,
the
mate.
Old and the New?
It doesn't.
However, he says that it doesn't. So now let's find the relevant ayah and surah.
Where is your voice now?
Can I just say something to you, please?
Let him say something. Watch the speaker's corner.
Can I say something to you?
There's no need to touch me, Hamza. There's no need to touch me. No, I'm going to stab
Why are
you.
you not asking him to speak? Let him speak. No, I'm fine. No.
I'm looking for the verse where it talks about Ahmed in the Quran.
You have to Google it.
So now you're making my claim for me.
No, you are creating your own straw man, mate.
No, first thing, you asked me a straw man question.
I asked you a direct question, not a straw man
It's a
question.
logical fallacy, mate.
My
It's a logical
claim
fallacy,
was
mate.
never based on you as a
You haven't made a
person.
claim.
It is based upon the arguments made by the Dawah team
What's that?
week in, week out at Speaker's Corner.
Definitely.
And everyone who's here as a regular knows it as
Have I
a
made that
fact.
claim? Have I made that claim?
So-
Have I made that claim?
So,
Have I made that claim?
Christian
Have I made that
missionaries
claim?
talk about things all
We're
the
going to
time.
deal with your lies later.
with the dowry.
We're going to deal with your lies later. Yeah? We'll deal with your lies. Don't worry about that, mate. We're going to deal with you.
Give me a hug, bro.
Get your nonsense, mate. We're going to
Give me
deal
a
with
hug.
your lies.
why are you so angry?
You call me a coward and you call me a liar.
Why are you so
We're going to
angry?
deal with you. We're going to expose Jason
Why
Burns
are you
today.
so
Don't worry.
angry?
And you're a liar, yeah.
I'm a liar.
Yeah.
What did I say that I know wasn't true?
Why are you running away from me?
What did I say that I know wasn't true?
We'll deal with it later.
What did I say? You called me a liar again.
You are a liar.
What did I say that I know is not true?
We'll deal with it later.
Bring your evidence, mate.
I'll give you the evidence. Don't worry about it.
You said numerous times that in Deuteronomy 18,
This is not the Christian missionary team.
Honestly, this
This is
missionary
another
team.
person who's backing in, along with Soko Films.
but Muhammad
This is the typical tactics.
I've never made such a claim.
Don't lie, Hamza.
Every single time.
can't cope with it
And he
too.
doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
We're going to deal with you today and your lies. You're getting exposed today, Jason Burns.
You could deal
For all
with
the
it.
lies you come out with.
Mate, you could deal with me if you tried. Just
Well, we're going to do it.
Just chill out.
And then the
chill
people will
out.
decide whether you got dealt with or not. Because you called me a liar. I want
are
to
a
see.
liar.
Lied about
You're a
what?
liar. We'll get into
What
that
did I lie
later.
about?
We'll get it
What
into
did I lie
that.
about?
We'll get it later.
Nothing, mate.
the verse in the
Well,
Quran
yes,
that
you
talks
are.
about
Nothing, mate.
Where is it?
What did I lie about?
You're finding it very hard today.
What did
Just
I lie
take-
about?
Just check. Can someone get him a coffee? Excuse me,
Yeah. Do you know why I'm finding it very hard? Because I deal with civilized discussion. I don't deal with ad hominem logical fallacy discussions.
Does he look like he's civilized? Am I civilized?
No!
you are, bro.
You don't even know what civilized means.
He's a liar.
Do you know what civilized means?
Shouting his head
Do you know
off.
what civilized means? It means just.
Don't let.
It means just.
I know he is. I just need to find the
Get
verse.
out of what? I've not made any
just need
claims.
advice.
He's trying to get out of it.
Hamza,
Get
you
out of
don't
what?
listen. You don't listen,
Get
Hamza.
out of what?
Hamza is trying to create his own straw man. Because he is saying that I have said he has made a claim. But everyone who was here from the beginning heard me say, Muslims make the claim.
Why are you asking me?
Why are you asking him?
I am because you are a Muslim.
If he makes the
So
claim,
Because
then
you're a
I'll
Can I
Muslim.
make the claim? Has anybody heard me make a claim about anything?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Every week. Yes, every week.
What claim have I made? Apart from Jason's a liar. Other than that,
Is
what
that
other claim have I
civilized?
made?
Is that civilized?
Do you know what civilized means?
Yes.
It means just. And yes, it is. Because he called me a liar and he's got no evidence to support it, and that will expose him as a liar.
So,
Simple.
so
So I've not made any claims here, so I don't know what he's looking for. I really don't.
we're going to find it for you.
Ad hominem.
Find
Just
what?
Focus on
Going
the
to find it
arguments.
for you.
But I've not made any claims.
1 second, bro.
Remember that he said
1 second.
that there is a statement.
there's
in
a
the Quran-
verse in the Quran.
He said there's a statement in the Quran where it says that Muhammad is mentioned
In the New Testament and the Old Testament. Okay.
Now he's
In
trying-
the scriptures,
Yeah.
yes.
So you're saying Muhammad?
No, you
is
said
mentioned-
New Testament and Old Testament.
Yes, in the script. Which
No,
are the
you said New
scriptures?
Testament and Old
Which are the
Testament.
scriptures? Thank you very
You
much.
said the New Testament and
Which
the Old
are the
Testament.
scriptures? Thank you very much.
Let's see what they say. Let's see what
Don't
they
start getting your semantics.
He's not-
Just
he's
listen
not-
to
he's
it.
not getting
Semantics.
Yeah, that's your way of
Don't
getting
worry.
out of it.
Just stand behind him, you'll be right.
Well, sorry, so me addressing his exact point is getting out of it.
Just chill out.
Which
Number
verse
one-
is it?
You asked me a question
Daniel,
and then you
the
changed the
verse
question,
where it
and that's
says
me getting
Ahmed.
out of it.
So the Christian missionary team are conferring
Honestly.
to find Bob the verse that he's looking for. He doesn't know it.
We need to fall now.
I don't even know what he's looking for.
Guys, can I say something to the pair of you?
157.
My grandparents are both pastors, part-time pastors admittedly, and they do things like what you're doing, speaking to people like Darren. They'd be embarrassed by the way you two are acting.
Absolutely.
And shame on the pair of you.
Absolutely.
Honestly. Sorry, I had to
Look,
say that.
Soy Boy here is here to talk about weak man's Christianity. You go and preach it, brother. Preach it somewhere else.
Christianity is best when it preaches love.
Yeah, but he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So, listen carefully. Hamza said that the Quran does not make the claim that Muhammad is spoken about in the Old and the New Testament.
Yes.
The Quran says those who follow the messenger, the prophet,
Messenger.
the prophet,
Prophet.
who can neither read nor write. Who's the prophet that can't read or
So
write?
in your
Who's the
statement,
prophet who can't
in
read
your
or write?
statement, You said, is the name
The scholar
Muhammad
says,
mentioned in
i.e.
the scriptures?
Muhammad.
The Quran is telling you no.
It's right there.
The term-
What does that
what's the
say?
name? The name, does it
Shout
say
it,
the name?
Jay.
Does it say the name?
What does
Does
that
it say the
say?
name?
What name?
Does it say the name?
Mohammed!
What does that
Does it say the
say?
name?
You got a loud voice.
Does it
What
say
does
the
that
name?
say?
Does it say the name?
Mohammed!
Does it say the name?
You don't need to grab
Why
it.
don't you tell me?
Bro, just what's the name?
Okay, first thing.
Shout the name.
No.
Shout the name.
Okay, look.
Why are you pointing to it? Brackets.
You know what?
Why are you pointing
Louder.
This is embarrassing.
Why are you pointing brackets?
What does it say?
Listen.
What does it say?
Okay, first thing.
So,
It's in brackets.
So.
What does it mean when it's in brackets?
So.
What does it mean when it's in
It
brackets?
means your scholars
What does it mean?
past tax fear that this is the interpretation.
No.
That's what it
No,
means.
it doesn't.
So, those who follow the messenger,
No, when you're ready to have a civilized
the
conversation.
prophet, who can neither read nor write. Who is the prophet, Muslims? Who cannot read or write?
Notice the
It's
fallacy.
Muhammad.
Notice the fallacy.
And the Muslim scholars
Notice the
agree.
fallacy.
Talk to the camera.
Notice the fallacy.
Whom they
The
find
fallacy is
written
this.
with
Bob has
them
made the claim.
in the Torah,
Bob has made the
which is
claim.
the Old Testament,
Bob has made the claim.
and the Injil,
Bob has made
which
the
is
claim.
the New Testament.
No.
So Hamza
All right, so-
is wrong.
Okay, first thing. No. First thing. You're talking a garbage again, mate. Okay, first thing, we don't believe the Injil is the New Testament. So you're wrong there. So that's the second false assumption you've made. I can't keep dealing with your fallacies and your false assumptions, mate. And your straw men. It's just
So-
ridiculous.
So, quite clearly,
We
You
have
can have this argument in the
established.
mirror, mate. Because I've not made any of these
We have
claims.
established that Hamza's first premise was false.
right, he never made a premise.
And that the
You didn't make the
Quran,
premise. You made the
yes,
premise.
you did.
You made the premise.
And it's on camera.
You made the premise.
The premise that you made was that Muhammad was not prophesied
You made
in
the
the
claim.
Quran
You made the
as
claim.
being in
What was
the
the
Old
claim?
and the New
I didn't
Testament.
make any claim, mate.
And the Quran contradicts
So here
you.
we go, the fallacy. We
So,
notice the fallacy.
now let us
now we don't.
advance
You
the argument.
It's not advance the argument. We're still dealing
Let us
with your
advance
fallacy.
the argument.
Let us have the discussion on the point.
Show me where
5 times.
in the gospel
False
or
premise.
in the Torah
False premise.
Muhammad
False
is prophesied.
The first premise is false.
Okay.
Now, here we go.
The New Testament is not the Injil. How many times?
So Bob has
So-
made the claim.
That's a logical fallacy.
Bob has made the claim.
So
5 times.
he says
He said.
that the New Testament is not the Injil. And yet again
False
and
premise.
again,
Go back to the
he
first
argues now against the likes of Shabir Ali.
No.
He argues against
He's making out how
Mansour,
It's absolutely false.
Zakaria,
Talking about.
Mohammed Tawhid,
Talking about.
who use
So again,
who
it's not about
use
me.
the New Testament and the Old
I
Testament
disagree.
to
I
prophesy
disagree.
Muhammad in the Bible.
So now we have, this is the false premise.
He
The false
also
premise was
argues
not listening
against
to- not allowing
his own
discussion.
Muslim scholar
Bob is not
who
allowing
translates this
discussion.
text.
Bob is not allowing discussion.
Because in the brackets,
Bob is
the
not
Muslim
allowing
scholar
discussion.
refers the reader
premise
to
he made
Deuteronomy
is a false
18, verse
He
15,
has made a false premise.
and
The first,
John
he's not allowing discussion on the point.
14,
Typical
verse
Bob, typical
16.
Bob,
So the
railroading
Muslim
his opponent,
scholar
not allowing
disagrees
discussion.
with Hamza.
This is the mind of a scared Christian and his missionary
no.
group. Will you engage with the discussion? Will you? That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. So, here we go, back to the point. Bob has
crying.
Bob has made
think
the
we
claim.
should let him go, he's
5
crying.
times you made the claim.
Let's
You
go,
want to
he's
hear the claim you
crying.
made? First point. Hamza never made the claim
Not made any
that
claim.
Muhammad is mentioned in the Bible by name. Bob said other Muslims have made this claim, and that's where his false premise starts from.
So why is he asking me?
Second point.
You didn't
5
tag in, bro.
times he
Why are you
said.
asking me?
You
5
didn't tag in.
times.
He's not saying
5
anything,
times
mate.
he said.
He's not saying
that
anything.
the name
You can't call
Muhammad
He's not saying
is
anything.
first
You're shaking.
is
He's not saying
mentioned.
anything.
Surah
He's not saying
7,
anything.
verse 157 does not mention the name Muhammad. That's his problem.
I feel like we're
So
taking
now,
sweets
what
off
we have
babies.
established, number one,
They can't cope with
Hamza
it.
never made the claim that Muhammad is mentioned by name in the Old Testament or the New Testament. You're strike one.
So-
Second point. The verse
I
that
am
you
now
gave.
debating
Verse
Hamza's
7,
spokesman.
157.
So
Second
let's
point.
see
Second
if
point.
Hamza's spokesman
Second point.
can make a better
second
Quranic
point.
argument
The second
than
point.
Hamza.
The second point.
So the Quran says
The second point.
in Surah 2,
The second
Ayah
point. Not allowing the discussion.
101,
The second discussion.
and
second
when
discussion.
they came to the messenger
Second discussion.
from Allah
Discussion.
confirming
Second discussion.
what was with them,
Second discussion.
a
Second
party
point.
of the people of the book
Let's
threw
put this
away
to
the
bed.
book of Allah
Let's put the-
behind their
Let's
backs
put
Bob the joke he is.
as if it had been
Let's
something
put this to bed.
they did not
Let's
know.
put this to bed. Let's put
So
this
the
to bed.
Quranic witness
False
is that at the
premises.
time of the
False
Muhammad,
premises. False premise.
the people of the book had
False
something being confirmed
Something.
by the messenger.
Something. Exactly. So let's have a discussion.
1-6.
61-6.
61-6.
Have a look at it. Okay.
61-6.
So the first point that he made, that Hamza made the claim that the name Muhammad was mentioned in the Old and New Testament. False premise. Hamza never made that claim. He said
I
other
never-
Muslims.
I never
other
made-
Muslims-
I never said he made that
said
claim.
Other Muslims made the claim.
Exactly.
He said other Muslims
Exactly,
made
and
the
you
claim.
ignored that point
He
because
I
it's
haven't. I've
convenient.
said it again and again. So first thing, he set up a straw man. Hamza never made the claim. Second thing,
61.
he quotes 61-6. Look it up. The second claim he put forward, he quotes verse 7, 157, Surah 1 verse 157. He claims that verse says that the name Muhammad is mentioned in the Old and New Testament. The name Muhammad is not even in the verse. It's not even in the verse. It's within brackets. Somebody
agree.
implies. So,
I agree.
Second.
Thank you. Well done.
So next thing.
Walk
so
right
it's
into it,
important-
bro.
so
Walk
it's-
right into
it's
it.
important to remember that his first premise that Muslims claim, based upon this verse, that the word Muhammad is in the Old and New Testament, It's proven false because the verse that you brought forward does not even contain the name.
Can I reply?
Not yet until I finish with your next point. Give me the chance to speak.
Okay, let you finish your point.
Number one,
Well,
so just to
actually,
summarise.
Did he let me speak? No, I don't believe he did.
Oh,
did
yeah.
he?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't, did he?
Oh,
He
roll
didn't.
over me. Roll over me, bro.
I can do.
Because you can't.
He's afraid of what you're
going to
say. He's afraid of
Don't
what
be
you're going to
afraid
say.
of the discussion.
That's what he's going to
I'm
do.
happy to talk with you, but
So-
it's got to be a
We'll talk when
discussion.
he's afraid of what you're going to say.
The
The only
argument,
thing you can do. So
the
here we go.
argument
He's moving on. It hasn't let me
that
finish
has
my point.
been made
He's moving on.
is
And he
twofold.
hasn't allowed me to finish my
Point one. Point one.
He's moving
Point
on.
one.
He's moving
Point
on.
one.
He's moving on.
All
It's just
of
all
you
straw
Muslims
men,
If he doesn't
who
allow
have
it,
been
fallacies.
told
Kill it.
that Muhammad is prophesied in the Bible,
listen, we don't need to know what
Hamza
happened to this
is
nonsense.
saying you're wrong.
This established-
Hamza
this
is
established-
saying you're
He's
wrong.
not. Absolutely not. So he
So-
has, number one,
The question is,
the premise wasn't even Hamza.
we showed him in the
Number
Quran
two, the verse
where it
doesn't
talks
even
about
contain the
a
name
prophet
Muhammad.
that could not
The only
read
thing you
Have this
can do-
and
discussion
could
with the
not
mirror. You
write.
know,
The only thing
you can look in the
And
mirror and do that.
Hamza
only thing you
said
can
none
do
of
and
is
his
railroad the
bodyguard
discussion.
I said none of this
both
was
said that this was not
This is the whole
Muhammad.
point. This is the whole
That
point.
the
This man
insertion
has no
of the
argument.
name
all
of
rhetoric.
Muhammad
Nothing
Just rhetoric.
was imposed
He's got
by
loud
the
voice.
scholars.
That's all he's got.
And he has back
And he just
If that is the case,
There is no,
what do
no
we see
substance in
here?
the argument. It's a
Who is
false
in
argument.
Surah
To be honest with
61?
you, Godwin makes more
Ayah
sense than you.
60.
Let him read the 60. Let's have
And
a look
remember,
at 61.
Jesus, it's running away. It's running away. The titan of the Dawah team is running away.
Classic discussion.
Let's go after
There we go.
Hamza.
Running away from the discussion.
Control this one. It's on the screen, just black, man, in charge. Sorry, bro. Ah, sorry. Sorry, bro.
How do I get that? I don't mean I get paid.
Sorry.
How does that mean I get paid? To me?
Are people donating to an organisation that employs you?
No.
You're not receiving any money?
No.
I don't believe you.
There we go.
How do you believe me?
Beetje naar speelroom, fam. Beetje naar speelroom, fam. Don't jump in, blood. Don't freak out, fam. Nah, fam. Don't bang no one, fam.
Challenging corners. But when someone wants to challenge him, who actually knows something, this is how they behave. Cowards.
You're the coward.
You are the coward.
Yo. I'm mine, blood. Fucking green, yo, team of Mac there.
Just be careful. What is wrong with you?
I'm gonna link him outside the park, of course.
He's there, Leon, he's there.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. I'm coming. Wait. Hey, wait. Tell him to wait. Sorry. Let me get this going.
You don't actually have to discuss. You just shout over people.
This you after your big fam.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Wait there, bruv, you dickhead, bruv. Wait there, you fucking pussy. Wait there. Wait outside the park, bruv.
First making a beer noise in front of the fence from like he wants man to get nicked or something.
Exactly, bruv.
can.
What's my camera? This guy's trying to chat shit to Leon. What's my camera?
Who?
That Arab boy there.
Hey, watch out, man.
Yeah, he was in trouble. He pushed me as well. Then I pushed
Put your hands on me.
You got a sunglasses? You're from Manchester, yeah? Yes, yes. I got it all on camera. Yes. I got it all on camera. I got it all on camera.
Okay, you got it on camera.
Yes, that's it.
You know what it is? Yeah, he was following him. He was following him. These both were following him. They were in his face. And Hamza's basically getting crowded by these two guys. It's like someone keeps following you. They're at your face like that. And all Hamza did was just try to move away.
No, he did it. You're a liar. You got it all on camera. He pushed me and pushed the camera away. I got it all on camera.
Was you not a liar? Was you not a liar?
Can we get one group to move away, please? Ask you guys to move away, all right?
Was you not harassing him? Your feet.
Are you able to move away, or you're...
Damage, but shoved out.
All right.
Thank you. If it's crowded, you know,
Yeah, the environment.
exactly. It's like conducive. You have to look at the camera.
Versions of events. Okay, so the idea of this area is it was set up back in Victorian times.
Yeah, I'm aware of the
that.
history.
But these days now it's got two focused on religious issues, which is basically not what it was set up for. Okay, that is being looked at the moment. There is serious concern with that, and it may well be that in future that this isn't an appropriate area for that to take place.
Yeah.
So if you abuse it, you will lose it, as we say. Okay?
No, I get that.
I've got no issue with any of you being here today. Not a problem at all. As a Metropolitan Police Officer, I'm duty bound to keep the peace, protect life and limb, and serve everyone that's still around me. Okay? Now, we can go and speak to the chap.
They're here.
A conversation with about 50 people around us, and we can discuss this like proper men, and then we can deal with it. Would you be happy with that?
That would be happy. I would be happy. He's there.
He's over there. He's over there. Right, okay. What I suggest, we don't want too many people here, is antagonising. Your mere presence may well cause an issue. Okay, so we're going to have a little chat with him. I'm going to go over and get him. If you want to just hang on over here for me, I'll bring him over, we'll have a little chat.
Thank you.
And we can deal with
Okay.
this. I'm not having a shouty argument match.
That's fine.
That's fine. But we're with him though.
Well, but he shouldn't have pushed me. Yeah. He shouldn't have pushed me.
No, he pushed you first, look.
Yeah.
Watch. No, it's even worse, look, watch. There you go, there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Yeah, we can show that to the policeman.
Are you ready? All right.
So, I mean, there's obviously a confrontation that has occurred between me and Hamza. everyone can see the footage from different angles because it was caught on more than one camera, and you can make your own mind up about who pushed who first and whether JC's camera really was right up in Hamza's face or not. But the confrontation for me is not as important as the discussion that preceded it, because at the end of the day, you know, it's a minor confrontation. But the Dawah team and the Salafists at the corner need to be challenged on the fact that they think that they can resort to violence whenever they're rattled in debate and discussion. And they've got to be challenged on that. People have got to stand up to them when they do that, because we can't rely on other people to uphold justice for us at the moment in our society. In terms of the discussion, which I think was actually much more important, Hamza comes to Speaker's Corner on a regular basis, challenging Christians about the reliability of their texts. And when I started to discuss with Hamza what was going on, it was actually whilst he was talking to another Christian. And I heard him say, with regards to an Old Testament prophecy that was talking about the Christ, he said, but that doesn't mention Jesus, does it? Jesus' name is not there. So Hamza establishes a principle, which is, where in the Quran does it say Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and the New Testament? Because if Muslims are going to try and use the Old and the New Testament to prophesy that Muhammad is there, well, they have to start with the Quran and justify that belief from the Quran. So we showed him one verse where it talks about an unlettered prophet, one who can't read or write, and the scholars clearly think that that was Muhammad. They actually insert in brackets Muhammad's name as being referred to in this particular passage that we quoted. And Hamza said that nowhere in the Quran does it say that Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and the New Testament. And he goes on to say that the Old and the New Testament as we have it today are not really the Old and the New Testament that's been spoken of in the Quran. But the fact of the matter is, the scholar that translated the Quran that I was using refers his listeners to two passages in the Old and the New Testament, one in the Old and one in the New, at the one that we have today, not some mythical one that we have no evidence for that supposedly existed. And so what we have is a situation where a double standard is being created by the Dawah team, that they say that they will use the Old and the New Testament whenever it suits them to argue that Muhammad is prophesied in our Bible. But then when those passages don't suit them, or contradict their belief, or teach something that they don't agree with, they say, well, that's not the real Zabur, that's not the real Torah, that's not the real Injil. So they're highly selective in the passages that they use, and it's purely based upon what passages suit their argument, not on any well worked out or genuinely academic hermeneutic. And so what I was trying to do was to show that nowhere in the Quran does it name Muhammad as being prophesied in the Old and the New Testament. It doesn't say it anywhere. And actually, Hamza agreed with me. He said it doesn't, which means that Hamza is contradicting people like Zaki Alaya, who uses Isaiah 42. He's contradicting Muhammad Taweed, who uses John 14 to 16. Hamza is saying that people who have argued that Muhammad is prophesied in the Old Testament and the New Testament, like Zakir Naik and Ahmad Didat, are all wrong. And yet when we find one verse in the Quran that actually names someone as giving them a name as being prophesied in the Old and the New Testament, he doesn't even use the name Muhammad. He uses the name Ahmed. So the question that I wanted to ask Hamza, this paid Dawah missionary here at the corner, the guy who challenges tourists and unsuspecting Christians, is if he believes that Muhammad is not spoken of as being prophesied in the Old and New Testament, who is this Ahmed? And if this Ahmed is Muhammad, as I believe that Muslims interpret that to be, well, where is the name Ahmed in the Old and the New Testament? So, those were the kind of arguments that I was trying to erudite. Hamza ran away, not once, not twice, 3 times, because I followed him 3 times. And because he was so rattled, he turned aggressively. But the arguing about the aggression is not really the point. He shouldn't have pushed me, he shouldn't have pushed JC, and he shouldn't have damaged the camera. And if Hamza had any real sense of justice, he would apologise to me, apologise to JC, and offer to pay to compensate for the camera. But the fruit of his deen is not about justice. The fruit of his deen is about dominance. It's about controlling, taking territory and controlling space. Because the Salafists believe that's what you have to do. They have a dominion theology. Take territory, control space. And when you challenge them on their right to take territory and control space, you see the result. Any questions? No? Yes. You have a question. Hello again, Honest Muslim. How you doing? I'm alright, how are you? Did you get yourself in?
Come take over everything from your belly. Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen. Calm the thing down still. Where's he going?
Told him to shut up, fam, for a slap one in the side of his group.
Did you start reading it? Yeah. Did you start reading it? Okay. So let me ask you the question that I wanted to ask. Muslims make repeated claims that the Old and the New Testament prophesies Muhammad. Can you show me in the Quran where it says Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and New Testament? It says Ahmed. Okay, so can you show me in the Old or the New Testament